We're going to start with Hurricane Ian as the storm makes landfall on the west coast of Florida. We're getting a live look now at the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in St. Petersburg. It is closed because of the high winds. You can see the water flowing underneath of it. Ian is going to continue to bring the wind, bring the heavy rain to central Florida for the next 24+ hours. Matt Wentz is joining us now with the latest on Ian's track. Matt, you have any updated stats for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Betsy, the worst of the storm has hit over the last hour and a half, and it's going to continue over the next hour and a half before we start to see things dwindle. But in terms of the stats on this thing, it made landfall at 3:05 Eastern time near Cayo Costa. That's just near the Fort Myers area. Was a Category 4 when it hit. Winds were at 150. Pressure was down to 240. If you're tracking with me last night, we were tracking a pressure of 252. So it dropped 12 millibars. That's excessive overnight, and we certainly saw that strengthening this morning. It will start to weaken from here. That's the good news. But Florida is not out of the woods yet. They've got a flood threat, and that wind continues to be on the ferocious side. So look at the eye wall with this thing. The eye was some 50 to 100 miles wide there, and it's starting to shrink up now. Once storms hit land in terms of hurricanes or tropical storms, they lose their food source, which is warm ocean water, and it starts to kind of unwind a little bit. So that's what we're seeing right now, but winds still at a very formidable 145 with gusts to 190. Again, that's near that eye wall. From here, it's going to head inland, expected to kind of weaken quickly in terms of the wind side of things, but it's such a slow mover, moving northeast around 9 to 10 miles per hour, that this thing is going to continue to bring heavier rainfall, eventually heading back out over the Atlantic, perhaps coming back inland near the Charleston or Savannah area as a tropical storm before heading up into the Ohio Valley. But it's been impressive on satellite. You can see where that eye wall came in. The strongest winds right along that. That's where you get that 150 mile per hour wind with higher gusts. That is now inland. Sarasota getting raked right now. The south side of the system, not a whole lot of moisture. Most of this is in the north side of the system. But I'll tell you what, you get wind out of the east at 150. You get in the eye wall, things go calm, and then on the other side of it, that wind picks up to 150 once again, and it's coming from another direction. So certainly a formidable storm. Coming up in the forecast, we'll detail how this impacts the rest of the U.S., including us here in Ohio, as we look forward to the weekend. Betsy.
All right, Matt, thanks so much for that. We'll catch up with you on your full forecast in just a few minutes.